I want to share with you why I love Snagit. It is absolutely one of my favorite tools. I use it every day. I know you're wondering, could it really be worth $30 for the educational license? Yes, it could. And let me tell you why. The first thing I use it for is screencasting with editing. So it will capture my screen. It will capture my screen and my webcam. It will capture my screen and like my slides that are on it, or it will capture just my webcam. It will do beautiful choices with screencasting. It will turn those screencasts into an animated GIF or GIF, however you want to say it, if you want. So it doesn't have to be a video format. Now that works best if it's 30 seconds or less, but I've done longer ones, don't tell them. And it will let you trim that screencast. It will let you edit it so you can go back and play with it. You can do lots of things with it. It has lots of editing within it. You can cut stuff out of the middle, the beginning, or the end. It's really handy. My number one use for this is when students are absent. So I think the best practice is to record the screencast of how to do the lesson when you create the lesson. So it may be weeks or even months before you actually give the lesson, but as part of your planning process, just record a tutorial of how to do the thing. The reason I think that's the best practice is, number one, then you don't stress out if students are absent because you already have it ready. And then the second thing is that you will often find mistakes that you made in the lesson while you're recording it. Ask me how I know. The second reason I use it is oral administration of tests. So you may, like me, have students who have IEP or 504 accommodations that say that they can have oral administration of tests, meaning that the test is read to them. And I think it's wonderful. We have special education teachers who will perform that service. However, I teach content that has specialized academic vocabulary that I don't expect those teachers to know how to say. I think that's asking too much of people to know every single content area, all of the academic vocabulary in every single grade level. I mean, that's a lot. That's a big ask. And so if I record the test myself, I know that the words, are being pronounced in the same way for the student that they heard them in the class. I also can then add in other helps, like, remember, this is like so-and-so or such and such, or I can say, now as you're thinking about this question, consider blah, blah, blah. I can give them hints and helps in the process of the test. So then that video file can just be sent to the special education classroom or resource center, wherever they're going to take the test, and they can listen and hear their own teacher's voice and get the helps from me. So that's another way that I use it, and I love it to support my special education students. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, but Lisa, you can get almost all of that free with other screencasting tools like Screencast-O-Matic, which I recommend. And that's true, but there's more that Snagit can do. So let me share with you other beautiful things about Snagit. So the second thing that I love to do with it is to capture an image and edit it to within an inch of its life. So here's an image I captured from the National Oceanographic Association, and it's of the water cycle. Now watch, see the words? Where'd the words go, right? Watch, look at how it looks. If I were gonna edit this like in PowerPoint, I would have random weirdness. With Snagit, yes, you can see this kind of blur, but I think it looks really good. Another thing it'll let me do is magnify. So I can put the circle and magnify within the circle. So I can draw students' attention to one small part. So I can ask questions then. Consider the part of the image that is magnified. What is the step in the water cycle that comes after what you're seeing here? Or what are some of the issues with climate change that are affecting this stage of the water cycle? Or whatever question you want to ask, it just allows you to draw students' attention to it. It also allows me to add in callouts with text. And what I love about it is that I can use any font that's on my computer. So if you know me, you know I became a teacher because I like office supplies. And if you like office supplies, you like fonts. And being able to use my own fonts adds some consistency. It's not just the aesthetics, it's that I can make it match the rest of the assignment or what the students are used to. So I can put questions right in the picture really easily. And the possibilities there to edit the images go on and on and on. Literally, I could probably talk about all the things you can do with Snagit for 14 hours straight, not even taking a bathroom break. Like, it is amazing what you can do with images. My husband was hearing me record this and he was like, you should work for them. I totally should. I'm their biggest cheerleader. So the next thing that Snagit will do that I love is that it will remove the background or replace the color, so you can cover up stuff you don't want in the picture. So let's say I want my students looking at this article about the forest biome, but I don't actually care for this picture. I can take that picture out and put a new picture in. I can also just blur stuff. So I can blur a picture, I can blur text. So on the right-hand side, what you see here is that I've blurred out certain words, and I can use this as kind of a pop quiz for students. The technical term is a closed passage, C-L-O-Z-E, a closed passage, where I take out certain words and I want students to replace them. And I can use it to check for understanding, like what word goes there, and students have to come up with a reasonable word that would fit in the passage. I can add digital stickers, and Snagit calls these stamps, and I put a bunch of them here, random snowflakes and pins and edit pencils and test tubes, but you can use all kinds. Look, they have tons and tons of them that then you can add to the pictures, and you can use these for lots of different things related either specifically to your content area or just to draw students' attention to different things. One thing I love is that Snagit will auto save my captures. Like, I don't have to worry about pressing save. Like, I can save it with a file name if I want to, but even if I don't, Snagit will save it for me, and it will categorize and organize those captures based on where they came from. So I can search for all the captures that I've taken out of my own PowerPoint or off of certain websites. So if I'm trying to find a capture again, if I didn't label it or save it, or if I didn't tag it, Snagit has helped me with some organization there. It allows me to share what I did with anyone lightning fast. So you can see here that, and this is actually something I recorded with Snagit, that I am going to share this to my Google Drive. And you saw there were lots of other options. I could have shared it lots of other places. Here I'm sharing it to Google Drive, and it will appear then in my Google Drive. I'm just taking this edited image now, and then there it is. And I can either view it or I can get a link to share it with other people. So you saw me stop the recording, yeah. So next it will let me grab text from a PDF. This is so useful. So I've got a PDF and it's great, but I want to edit the text and I didn't create the PDF. Or I will tell you, this has happened to me. I created the PDF, but I didn't somehow save the Word document that I created the PDF from, or the PowerPoint. And so now I have a PDF and not the editable file that I created myself. Well, Snagit lets me capture that text and then I can edit it. I can copy all of it and I can paste it into Word or any other processing program that I want. Next, it lets me tag my screen captures so I can always find them. So I can capture something and I can tag it 5th grade science or landforms or river or whatever I want, like June lesson plan, whatever, right? I can tag it and then I can find all of my captures that are tagged with that thing. It really helps for organization. It lets me capture the entirety of a long web page. So I don't know if you've ever had this issue where you want to get a screen capture of a web page, but it's longer. You have to scroll down. So Snagit allows you to do that. It's called scrolling window. And when you do that, you can get like beautiful, you just click scrolling window and you get like the whole window like this, like the whole thing. This is one I did with Snagit, choosing scrolling window. It scrolls all the way down. You just say, I want you to capture the scrolling window, and it'll say, okay, Lisa, just click when you're ready to stop. It is so easy. Then the last thing I'll share, although I could go on and on, but the last thing I'll share is that it lets you add numbers to create simple activities for students. So here I have food web, and I put all these numbers all over it. And then I took this image then and I shared it into my Google Drive. And then in Google Docs, I created a food web activity for students. So I had share your thoughts with me. So how are number 1 and number 6 connected? Which is the most apexist of apex predators? Describe the food web from the point of view of either number 4 or number 2. Which land animal is the most like number 3? Choose an unnumbered animal and describe its place in the food web to someone who never heard of the food web. So you see, I've created a quality activity for students to do. Some people may say, oh, it's just a worksheet, but friend, the quality of these questions is not simple. Like, these are really good quality questions, and Snagit allows me to build these kinds of activities super quickly. Now, if you're interested in Snagit and would like to learn even more about how to use it specifically in a classroom, I highly recommend Russell at teachertrainingvideos.com. He's the one who got me to drink the Snagit Kool-Aid and become a total believer. And he has lots more ideas for you. I haven't even breached the surface of what Snagit can do. And the latest version is amazing. So I highly recommend it. If you're a teacher, you will totally benefit from Snagit. Thanks for listening. I hope you find it useful. And if you do, comment below and tell me how you used it. If you find a use that I didn't cover, tell me, because I might not know it. Have fun with Snagit.